this week, the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom held a virtual hearing to discuss the deteriorating religious freedom conditions in Nicaragua. And they suggested some policy options for the U.S. government to potentially pursue. Well, we've discussed here on Washington Watch the plight of 11 pastors who have been wrongfully jailed in Nicaragua on sham charges after they simply led some Christian revival gatherings. It reached, by the way, more than 1 million people. But these 11 pastors, listen to this, friends, they received sentences ranging between 12 to 15 years in prison, and they were assessed fines of $80 million per person. Not eight, $80 million per person. Stunning. Well, potentially, can this committee, this commission that just met on international religious freedom, could this perhaps be a step forward to exonerating these pastors? We all certainly hope so. And joining me now to discuss this is Britt Hancock. He's a missionary to Nicaragua with the ministry Mountain Gateway. Britt, welcome back to Washington Watch. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here again.
Well, listen, tell us about this hearing from the Commission on International Religious Freedom.
Yeah, we were so blessed and thankful to have the opportunity to testify in the USCIRF focused hearing on Nicaragua. And because, the more focus that we can get, the more likelihood that these different things that Congress and the State Department and hopefully other agencies in the executive branch can reach out and really send the signal to Nicaragua that the entire United States government is serious about this, that we as a country are serious about religious freedom, and that tyranny and totalitarian ideas are not okay with us.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned Congress. I know Alabama Congressman Robert Aderholt, as well as some other members of Congress, are passionate about this issue. But as you bring Congress up, how would you like to see Congress help? What can they do at this point that would be helpful?
There's a couple of things that they can do at this point. There's a resolution in the House, Resolution 1019, sponsored by Barry Moore, and I think there's close to 28 or 29 co-sponsors right now. We need that passed. Then Senator Rick Scott has sponsored a companion resolution to that one, Senate Resolution 607. We need that passed. We need as many members of Congress to make noise as possible. We need the Nicaraguan government to understand that everybody's serious about this, and it would be great if we could have Congress members calling for proof of life for our prisoners. We've had no contact with the prisoners since they were arrested in mid-December, 7 months ago. And the families have not had any contact. Their legal representation in Nicaragua has not had any contact. We have really no direct information about them, so we need a proof of life. We need Nicaragua to respond and show us the prisoners. And
wow.
The State Department and Congress members asking and putting pressure on that in a public and visible way. We really need that right now.
Wow, that's stunning information. What happened in Nicaragua, I guess, is really what I want to. Has this been something that caught you by surprise, their reaction to these pastors? Has this been coming? Is this a kind of standard policy? What is going on in Nicaragua, and is this new?
This is not new. In 2018, there was a big uprising that the current government there put down pretty brutally. It's well documented how they responded, and they've thrown many people in jail. They've canceled the registration and kicked out many, over 3,500 nonprofits, and among those nonprofits, hundreds of religious organizations. They've shut down schools and things like that. And so we actually had considerable tension and doing our best to respond to the Lord when He put it on our heart to do these mass evangelism campaigns in 2023, which the government completely agreed with and gave us all the permissions and helped us in many ways. But when over 200,000 people came to our meeting, the last campaign in November the 11th, we had over 200,000 people in the National Plaza. We had 6,000 evangelical churches working together. That's a pretty massive movement. And if you just
Wow.
they just responded normally. They're paranoid over anything that they perceive to be a threat to their power base and anything that could turn into a political movement to overthrow them. We had
Britt,
no interest
we're
in
gonna
politics.
we're gonna have to stop there. Listen, we want to continue praying for you and these pastors. Britt Hancock from Mountain Gateway. Friends, check them out.